we had a new trainer take over as points leader for the season. Multiple trainers fall out of the top 14. And we also say so long and farewell to one of our favorite trainers. Plus, we'll hear why T still believes that he's the biggest threat to end the season in the number one spot. Welcome back to SPL Live. I'm Anthony Mariona alongside my partner T Watson and JJ the Wonder Kid Wolf. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's start with Chris Davis. Chris came out strong during his makeup week, claiming 19 points to jump into first place in the standings with a 1-point advantage over Tanner Mason. Now, I spoke with Chris a couple weeks ago, and he said that he's planning on limiting the amount of time that he's going to be attending locals in the back half of the season, choosing only to appear during the weekends. And I have to say, it's really neat to see what he's been able to accomplish with that limited availability. So T, someone that's known Davis for a while now, you know, or is this impressive to you, be it that he's not playing as much as the regular person while still being able to dominate it as he's doing?
I didn't know this was his makeup week, or I would have tried to points block him. But no. Even though I feel like this is normal to me for what Chris can do, it is still impressive. There's no shortage of just how well this man plays. So him getting 19 points for his makeup week, oh my gosh, yeah, fantastic. I can't say anything else. The guy is just an amazing player, an amazing person.
Yeah, and you know, sitting there and kind of piggybacking on that, Chris Davis, 21, 6, and 4, has a win rate of 74%. I mean, the guy is doing amazing things. JJ, you played against him in the midseason showdown. Not to jump too much into that, but does this surprise you to be able to see Chris Davis climb the ranks as fast as he did when I think for the majority of the season he wasn't in the Elite 14?
Yeah, playing against him and seeing how he plays, I've heard his name around, huge shout out to him. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Just nothing else to say about it. Just he thinks about his plays. Even if he thinks about making a play, he may think of another route and it's probably better. So you got to give the man credit.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He pilots a lot of different decks.
Yeah, and funny enough that you bring that up. In the first season, Chris really mained the Sobble Intel line, which I don't know if you weren't playing at that point, but a lot of it was they had an ability called Shady Dealings where every time that you evolved, you got to go into your deck and select a card, any trainer card that you wanted, and that was the one that he played the most. And those technical lines that were there are prevalent now with what he does. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, really, really solid week for Chris. Now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a look at the current Elite 14. And mind you, we're still missing the standings from Hammerhead games on Friday night. But there's still a story to be told here. We had a lot of movement happen within the Elite 14 as we see Mike and Clayton both fall out of the Elite 14. Do you guys have any, or JJ, I'll start with you. Do you have any concerns for these trainers heading into the last few weeks of the season with them, taking that major fall? Mike, to mind you, didn't even score a point this week.
Yeah.
Mike's a really good player. I'm not sure if I saw him playing new yesterday, so I'm usually used to seeing him play Lugia, so maybe he just wanted to try it. Maybe the winning list of worlds. I'm not sure. And Clayton, did Clayton get any points this?
No, this was his bye week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do want to throw that out, Clayton.
Yeah,
I got you on that. But still, I mean, right now it just looks from the outside looking in that bye week has such a huge impact when it comes to trainers that are like Davis coming out and getting 19 points in a week.
Has he taken his Chris Davis taken his
Yes.
bye week?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's why I had the
Tanner
makeup.
did too, so it's a lot of these.
So T, same question for you. You see Mike, you see Clayton, you see a lot of mix-up happening in the Elite 14. Do you feel like this is cause for concern for these trainers, having to work their way back in, even knowing that they still have their makeup weeks coming up?
Still no. I think once, I still think that once everyone's bye week is over, or a good majority of the top 14, when they take their bye week and then their makeup week, I think this will all kind of flesh out to be roughly the same. I know Mike is trying to play different decks to see what he likes other than Lugia right now, and I think that's what his hindrance has been recently. But I still see Mike end up being in the top 14, and then Clayton still has a week in his makeup week, so he can also make the Davis jump and jump back into top 14. Heck, he can go probably like top 10 if he does well enough.
Okay.
So not really scared. There's still a few players in like the bottom part between like 14 and 20 that I still think can be.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that. So, with the fall also comes, new faces back into the Elite 14, and I say new, be it that like Emmanuel Cruz, who snuck in at 14th place right now, and he's been pretty consistent throughout the season. He's just hovering right outside the Elite 14. With those changes, and this kind of jumps back into what T was talking about. Do you see anybody on the outside looking in that you're really rooting for, or you feel like is going to have a hot streak in these last 3 weeks of the season to really kind of make an impact on the Elite 14? T, I'll actually start with you this time.
Someone I think that can run hot.
Yep, that's outside of the Elite 14 right now, not including Mike or Clayton, who were previously in.
Can run hot and will choose to run hot. I have two people. I think Soren can run hot.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think Soren can run hot, and Saldana.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. I think both of them, if they choose to, if they really want to put in the effort, can and will run hot. So.
Okay.
Those are my picks.
I like those picks. Soren, solid trainer throughout this season. He's done really well with that Rapid Strike deck that he's been running.
Disgusting.
Anytime he sees Mew or he sees Lost Zone, he's just licking his chops, at that free win that he has.
Or Guardy.
And he's done really well throughout the season with his trainer battles, except for I think recently he lost to Corinne 3 points, which I know set him back more than what he was hoping for.
Yeah.
As far as Andy is concerned, Andrew, runner-up to last season, one of the top trainers, I think year in and year out, he's done incredibly well. He should have probably won the trainer battle trophy if we had one in the previous season. So I really think those are solid picks. You have two solid trainers that we know can run hot. JJ, I know you're still kind of learning the community a little bit and so on, but it feels like, over these 8 weeks you've had experience with a lot of these different trainers. Are there any trainers on the outside looking in, outside of Mike and Clayton, that you feel, have that chance to run hot heading into the last few weeks?
Playing against him last night, and I was thinking, fun guy, Big Mike. He, like I said, I played against him. He was my only loss aside from Chris in the showdown. Playing Maridon, he knows how to pilot. He's a really good trainer. I think he can do it if he gets a good couple weeks. If he hasn't used his makeup week, he can definitely get up there. He's definitely someone to look out
and
for.
I genuinely like that pick. The fact is, Mike has 61 points. He's 18, 10, and 2 on the season, I believe, or 3. But the funny thing is, Mike lost a handful of trainer battles to Terry at the beginning of the season.
But he also has won some.
Yeah, he's won some recently. Yeah. But it's funny to think where he would be at if he didn't lose those points originally. I definitely can see Mike being up there. He made it in season 1.
Yeah.
Which me and him both backed into to that as well. But it's one of those things where I feel like those 3 trainers that you guys brought up are definitely solid picks and are people to look out for as the season ends in the next couple of weeks. Go ahead.
One more. The other one I want to give a shout out to. He can do really good in tournaments. Played against him. Real cool guy. I hope to see him in the Elite 14. Francis Matrillo.
Oh. Big Francis Thunder Thighs?
So I have to give him a shout.
So the funny thing is, I've been talking to him, of course. Francis, I love you. T's best friend, AJ's life partner.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't say him because it's my best friend. I'd be biased.
But he's actually cooking up some crazy stuff with this Chen Pao deck. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. Me and him tested.
I got a little secret. I got to look at it again.
Yeah, no, it's funny. But I do love Francis. And he experienced trainer, played Yu-Gi-Oh for a number of years, just knows how games work. And I definitely can see him being in the mix towards the end of the season as well. Now, once again, we're going to kind of bring it down to a little bit more somber of a new story. With the other changes and everything else, we're going to essentially be losing one of our more veteran trainers in Duncan Crowley. He'll be moving with his partner out of the area, and unfortunately, that's going to pretty much put a cap on his season with us. Duncan, we're going to miss you, but he was having a wonderful season. He was 25-3. He racked up 69 points. What do you think the impact of Duncan not being in the Elite 14 will be, and knowing that he's not going to be a presence in the championship series? I'll go ahead and start with you, JJ.
You know, I played against him, I think a few times now, and he's just a phenomenal player. Like,
yes.
Every time I play, every time I looked at that board, and I'm like, damn, I'm playing Duncan. I already know it's going to be a hard game. So, yeah, you give me a run for my money some of the games we've played.
Yeah.
Just, you know, and I don't know him that well. Just playing against him, see what type of person he is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. T, you've known Duncan for a while now, too. Both of us have. Yeah. Coming over from meeting him, I think, for the first time in Davis and things like that. How do you feel like his impact of leaving will, shake up the league and the Elite 14?
Well, it does bump someone up a spot, which Duncan does have a tendency of doing this.
Yes.
Making top 14 and then not being able to make it.
2 of the 3 seasons that Duncan was a part of the league. He has a very great record.
Yeah, he has a great record of doing this. But no, I think that extra spot will make quite a shakeup because he's currently at 8th, and I don't know with how many weeks are left that I see a lot of people, passing that at like 14th. You know what I mean? So I think that'll make quite the shakeup. But also, I'm just gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Duncan's really grown on me in the last couple of years, playing the single strike mirror over in Davis, and always being annoyed because we'd always tie. But no, Duncan is a great player, and he will definitely be missed, especially by me.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback on that as well. Duncan, when I first met him, he was always nice to me. He was always friendly, and I enjoyed, his conversations and things like that. You will be missed, my friend. We wish you the best of luck heading down to your, start your new life and everything like that. And I know you said that we'll still see you around every once in a while, and I think when we do, those are going to be some of the more fun times and some of the more fun memories that we're going to have as they take place. But farewell, my friend, and take care of yourself.
Or you could just stay and finish out top 14.
I would love that. He's done that. He did that last season. Yeah. I would love to see that happen. But either way, take care of yourself. Now, T, you see the lay of the land. We've talked a lot about the Elite 14. We've talked about the trainers that are in it. We talked about the trainers that threaten to get over that barrier heading into the future. So you see your journey that you have to complete in order to finally win the trophy that was named after you since the inception of the league.
Yep.
I assume you still feel as though you're the favorite to win the entire thing.
Yep.
What is it about the trainers ahead of you that make you feel this way at this point in the season still?
Food. Actual food. That's all I have to say. Tanner in front of me, Davis in front of me. They know I'm coming. I didn't know. So here's the thing. I was saying this last night. I didn't know that Tanner had done a trainer battle earlier in the week because it hadn't been updated like yesterday morning. So when I saw it, I only saw him at 78 points. So I thought with my resistance, I would be tied for second, and I don't mind being second to Chris because I can try and make that one up as I go. But then seeing that, putting myself at 78 points when I could have trainer battled for 3, instead I trainer battled for 1. And if I would have done the 3, I'd be tied with Tanner. But we have how many more weeks?
There's 3.
We have 3 more weeks. That's 3 more trainer battles I gotta get in. I'm just gonna do it. That's all it is.
All right, JJ, you see the lay of the land for T. You see the path that he has to go through. Give me your take. Do you feel like T has a legit chance? Yes, his path to the peak. All right? new segment presented by Path to the Peak. So, Pat, you see his path. Do you feel like T is favorable in that matchup to end the season number one in the points championship? Or the points cup series?
You know, I've known this man from the Yu-Gi-Oh days, and when he sets his mind to something,
he loses to Roland.
Good old love T for the love of the T. Back in the Yu-Gi-Oh days, he can do it. I feel like he can, but Tanner, I've known Tanner a long time, almost as long as you.
Yeah.
He's not a force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, Tanner is no slouch.
The two people that are in front of you right now, you got a lot. I mean, you think it's easy, but I'm gonna tell you, you have a lot of competition.
He thinks he's Majin Buu.
I don't think
turn him into cookies.
Maybe Tanner, but Chris Davis.
Well, you got to think about this. I look at these two, and I don't have a losing record to either of these two. I had to make up my record to Chris Davis, because Chris Davis used to tear me to shreds back in the day. But now we're pretty neck and neck, and it's kind of fun.
Okay.
But Tanner and I think we only have one win. I have one win, one loss, and I think we've tied, and that's it. So,
you know, Tanner, with what he's doing this season, he's
know
he's serious.
He's having a solid season.
Oh, I know, and I'm still coming for him.
So, with that, it sounds like T thinks he's Majin Buu. You guys are cookies. He's gonna eat you up.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Best of luck. No, he turned people into cookies too. But either way, best of luck. Chris. I hope you repeat. I hope he gets his second one. It's his second name on the trophy. But for now, we'll go ahead and jump into our next segment, which is going to be presented to you by Hammerhead Games, where we are currently at recording this. We will go ahead and do SPL Trainer Pass. We're going to sit down with a trainer in the Elite 14 to catch up and get their takes on the current SPL season. Today, we are joined by the runner-up of the mid-season showdown, Mr. JJ Wolf. Woo! Welcome, JJ. So, JJ, you're currently sitting at 10th place in this season, 68 points with an 18-7-4 record. How do you see the rest of the season going for you?
I don't know. After doing as well as I did during the mid-season showdown, I decided, all right, let's play some more Miraidon. Went like, what was it, 1-1-2? I think starting out 0-2, I tied one and 1-1. So I was like, all right, I'll change it up. Played Tina Lost Box. I didn't do as well. I'm like, man, like no deck's working for me. I got 6 points last week, and it was just atrocious. This week, decided to go back to good old classic Lugia. You know, went 3-0 on 3-0 on Monday at Hammerhead, and then Tuesday I went 3-0-1.
Yeah.
You know, so fall back on a deck you really like, and look at that.
Yeah, no, and that's something that we've noticed as well. I think a lot of people are going through that similar situation where you're just trying to find a deck that you feel comfortable with, especially heading and getting closer and closer to the championship series. So I completely understand that. We talked about Mike going through that. I'm still trying to figure out things. I built Charizard. It's pretty good. But outside of that, no, I definitely get it. So you took home second place at the midseason showdown, coming up just short in a fun battle. It was a fun battle against Chris Davis. Mm-hmm. Heading into that weekend, that event, how did you decide on Miraidon EX, and how did you know that was the right decision for you?
You know, shout out to Ryan. He's probably the reason. I mean, he played my Lugia. I was going to play Lugia, but he decided he wanted to play it. So I was like, you know, let's get a deck that can probably, if I go second, I can start attacking with it. Consistent, you know, and it's fast. And you start Miraidon, have an S-Ball, Ultra Ball, fill up your bench. You know, it's Battle VIP Pass on crack, you know. Then Battle VIP Pass, you win a lot of games if you start with it, most of the time. Pretty good feeling, you know.
I don't disagree with that.
Can't argue that one.
Yeah, that's pretty.
T.
And I mean, did the fact that the midseason showdown was a best of one for the Swiss rounds play in any or make any impact in the decision making?
Yeah. You know, it just felt like, and especially going in the top, you know, but best 2 out of 3, I thought I was gonna lose in top 8, you know, especially that, because I'm like, this deck is good in best of 1, but
you wound up hitting some really solid matchups. You played 2 Palkia decks, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get better. You can't get better than that.
Almost can't get better than that.
Yeah. So coming over from other card games and the experience that you've had playing those card games, right? You've been playing for a number of years. What are some of the more important skills that you think you brought over with you into Pokemon that's helped you adapt so quickly to the game, to the meta, and everything else?
You know, knowing your matchups, you know, especially playing like last night, you know, I was playing against Big Mike. You know, there's a couple of things I had to think about, you know, like, all right, I got this one of Collapse Stadium, and it's really good against Regieleki because it messes up the number, or it messes up like the Raikou numbers, and he messed up a couple times because of that. You know, that threw him off. V-Guard energy. So it's like knowing your scenarios, and some of these games I've learned a lot in this last week playing my outs. You know, I was playing against Big Mike, for example. He'd knock out my Lugia, or I was in a really bad losing situation. I'm just like, oh, I just want to auto scoop. Because in a lot of games, you just want to scoop because you're just like, I'm going to lose. But played him out, and come to find out, I won. You know, Iono won me a number of games.
Iono's not real.
No,
So,
that's
you know,
rough
it's play your outs. Play your outs if you think you can win, but, you know, if it's looking like really grim, you know, depending on time, you know, if it's like Lost Box versus Lost Box, you know you're going to lose, all right, yeah, scoop up, hopefully you get game 2, and then go into game 3. Worst case, you tie, maybe you take the win, but, you know, that's the thing, is like knowing your outs and seeing if you can win or not. Like,
So-
there's just so many things in this game that you got to take into consideration.
Do you feel like any particular card game that you've played in the past that helped you kind of learn that? Because I would say that knowing your outs and knowing when to scoop, kind of just having that feel for the game, is a skill in its own right? Do you feel like, you know, the years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or some of the other ones have helped you with that?
Like Pokemon, I feel like is a special thing to it, especially just because like, you know, key crucial cards like Iono and like some of these other cards that are game changers. I mean, the thing is there have been games where, you know, I'll play the Iono and I think I got it, but, you know, I still end up losing.
Yeah.
You know, so it happens. I don't know. It's just sometimes I just feel like, all right, maybe it's a gamble. I'll try and play it. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, depends on the deck I think you're playing. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Has probably been the biggest factor in it. You know, knowing your outs, looking what your opponent has. So, and the other big thing too, looking at the resources.
Yeah.
Your opponent, you know, if you're like, all right, like a game against, I forgot who I played against. Chen Pao, long story short. I was thinking to myself, all right, he has no cards in hand. If he top decks a research, gets like superior energy retrieval, you know, and a couple of cards, that's one way I lose. So I had a choice between bossing up Baxcalibur or like a Palkia that was ready to attack. And I was like, well, I lose to a boss regardless. Let's just bring up the Baxcalibur and take it out. That way, you know, if they drew research, superior energy retrieval, I lose that way.
Oh, okay.
I'm only losing a one card versus a couple of different cards.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So it's knowing your resources, it's the big thing.
Okay. So I asked Clayton this question, and I feel like it's a good one to ask you as well, being that you are essentially a rookie in our league.
I am. Yeah.
With this being your first year in the league, you're new to SPL and what it is as a whole. Has there been anything that surprised you? You know, is the league different than what you had expected it to be when you first signed up with us?
I mean, I did not realize how, well, I want to say competitive and good these players are. I knew they'd be good players, but when I played against all these players, just everyone, the Elite 14 I played, and even people, you know, 24, 25, like, it's insane.
Yeah.
The skill level is a lot higher than I thought it would be. I know people were good, but Jesus, man, it's, you know.
Great job, guys.
SPL for life.
Apple especially. You know, I played him just recently in the last year or so in Yu-Gi-Oh! And came to Pokemon. I don't think he's been playing that long, and dang, look at the skill.
Apple used to play a lot more, and then he dipped for a long time to go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was surprising to see him actually rejoin the league, and not just join the league, but just get back into Pokemon, and then surprising for him to join the league. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Give props too. So some of these decks that I've seen people playing, I forget, Luis, you know, he's playing that Palkia Guardi.
I know.
I would imagine it's not an easy deck to play, you know. It's
He
crazy
played a
what
lot of
people can
Palkia
do.
when it first came out.
Yeah.
No, I
That
think
was his first deck.
yeah, I think a lot of us have really kind of drifted back to things that we feel more comfortable with as the season's progressed. But that's going to be it for some of the for SPL Trainer Pass. JJ, thank you for sitting down with us and answering all of our questions
If
and things
it's
like
for
that.
you or T, anytime, man.
Hey, but
Cool guys.
we
You can't
really
meet anyone
appreciate
else
it.
cool. Especially this guy.
Oh, well, that guy too.
This guy
This
too.
guy, this
Yeah,
guy.
always.
All three of these guys, but hey, not so much of that. So once again, that was SPL Trainer Bass presented to you by our sponsor Hammerhead Games. Once again, where we're at right now. Now we'll go ahead and shoot this over to Deck Out to end tonight's episode. First things first, I'm going to go ahead and T. Do you want to jump on the award show?
Oh, yes. All right.
Or award show and
Yeah.
championship series.
All right. So, SPL, the award show, and the championship are both being hosted here at Hammerhead, September 17th. Yes, September 17th. Do we have a start time yet?
I believe it's 12 p.m.
I was
12 or
okay.
12:30, I think. Is what I was
Yes.
saying.
So 12 p.m. September 17th. Once again, it is for top 14 and for the trainers that did not make top 14. So we are going to be doing the award show. We're going to have the tournament for the people that didn't make top 14 separate from top 14. We're going to be running both tournaments simultaneously. So be here for that. It is free for everyone participating. And just come out and have a good time.
Yep, and be on the lookout for the email that should be getting sent out either tonight or Thursday morning for the voting for the award show, which once again will be hosted by Hammerhead Games.
Yep.
Going on for there, I'll just want to bring this up again. We do have the dice that's landing later this week. It should be here Friday. Once that's done, it's going to be the nice teal ones that we wound up picking up. So they're going to match they're like a nice bluish.
Blue.
Like think about like Vegeta's hair.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
with the pink, it's going to be gorgeous.
All right, I've
So
been waiting for that.
Yeah, so they're going to be hitting us sometime Friday. So expect to start being able to pick those up early next week. From there, SPL Discord.
Yeah. Everybody, I know that we've had Facebook Messenger for a long time. We've had the group chat for a very long time, but it is getting flooded. So we do have our SPL Discord. I've put the link in the chat several times. I will put it in again later tonight, Wednesday night, if you're listening. But go ahead and join that because I know it is helping us keep track of everything that is going on in SPL currently. I didn't check it, and that's how I didn't know about the trainer battles that have happened. So I would have been more up to date on points had I checked it. I got to start doing it more regularly. So I know I am someone who needs to do better. I need all of you to do better and join the SPL Discord as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, T. And last thing to wrap it all up, please double check your points to make sure that they are correct. As we are heading into the championship series, we don't want anybody to be cheated out of their points. We want to make sure that everything's correct so that when we get into the Elite 14, when we get into the championship series, we have the best of the best, the cream of the crop, duking it out for that number one spot, the playmat, the trophy, and the booster box all set up for that specific person.
Rights.
And bragging rights for an entire season. Which is also pretty dope. So
nice.
Double check your points. Hit me up if you have any questions about it. T, Mike as well. We're here to help out, and we're here to make sure that everybody's getting accounted for the way that they should. Outside of that, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap up SPL Live. Thank you for joining us, and I think for me, for T, for JJ, we'll see you guys at locals.
This is
Peace.
Peace.